Know what you believe and why you believe it. That's the theme of every history class that I teach. I don't want young people to just learn history from me. I want young people to learn to think for themselves. And unfortunately, that is lost right now. Here's how I see things. I posted earlier that thoughts were coming, and I've got a lot of them. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. You're going to get real, raw, unedited Brian Hilliard right now. I've made another video that I didn't like, so I deleted it. I have a mixed bag of emotions right now. I am pro-Trump. Always have been. And I'm all about America first. Take that for what it's worth. I'm about America first in that we need to worry about our country and then work out. And that's almost biblical. And I'm not, no, please don't understand. I'm not saying Trump is God. I'm not saying that Trump is a Christian. I have no idea if the man is a Christian. However, he is very pro-Christian. He's pro a lot of things. He's pro-America. Does he have a past? Yes, he has a past. I have a past. And for people that sit in judgment of this man and his past, apparently you should just be up in heaven already. Whatever, okay? That wasn't what I started. Didn't mean to start with that, just kind of came out. I don't know how to express what I'm feeling. And I have to tell you, I'm not going to mention his name on here. But on Saturday, I woke up angry. Just from what I had seen with the riots and all that kind of stuff. And here's the thing. I know this isn't just Black Lives Matter. And I know it's not just black people. The problem is I see Antifa doing more damage than I see anybody else doing any damage. And that's who they are. That is what Antifa is. Antifa is the problem. George Soros is the problem. Nobody wants to talk about that. That's the narrative. And the media is running with saying, putting this all on a racial issue. Do you understand that chaos is easier to control than unification, unified bodies? Diversity is a good thing. Different ideas are a good thing. And because we as a nation have allowed nonsense to take over what is happening, please protest. By all means, protest. I was in support of the protests last week. I'm in support of all the protests that are happening across the country for the coronavirus crap, because it is crap at this point. And I've disagreed with people about that, and that's fine, but we can't just agree to disagree on anything right now. I am watching what is happening in these riots, and it's got Antifa and George Soros written all over it. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I believe in what I'm watching and what I'm seeing. If you want to know how I feel about other things personally, I'm not going to post it here. This isn't the time for me to do that. I will say what happened to George Floyd was horrible. And the protests that started, I get it. Just like I get the protests all across the country, protesting governors of how they've done things and how they've handled things, especially here in PA. Pennsylvania here, people are upset. Well, look at all these guys that showed up with their guns. Well, let me tell you, people of all races showed up with their guns because Pennsylvania is an open carry. And the idea was not violence. The idea was, we're here. We have our guns. Big deal. So what? But we can open carry here in the state of Pennsylvania. but they were peaceful protests. And I'm all about the peaceful protests. This narrative that has just been taken over. And I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to bow before anybody, just so everybody understands that. That's clear and out of the way. I'm worried about the United States of America as a whole because chaos is what the New World Order wants. Chaos is what Antifa wants. Chaos is what is happening. If you really want to know, like I started to say, if you really want to know how I feel, watch David J. Harris. Watch the Hodge twins. Watch the Hodge twins with a sensor on, if you can. Tony Montega, running for office, I'm not sure if it's New York or Chicago. Terrence Williams, Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum. I love Brandon Tatum. So if you really want to know how I feel about all that just I'm there. That's where I'm at. What I'm seeing right now, and I'm very concerned with Christians, as if we need a narrative or an agenda to get people to come to our churches. If we haven't shown the love of Christ up to this point, what's different now? Why is this any different? Why haven't you, as the body of Christ, been showing love up to this point as it is? There are horrible Christians out there. Trust me. I'm a recovering fundamentalist. Okay? I know how horrible Christians are and can be. RFP, Recovering Fundamentalist Podcast. Just throwing that out there. Christians can be horrible people too. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people in heaven that I don't think should be in heaven. I'm just saying. Thank God I'm not God. Actually, people should thank God that I'm not God. Probably other people, I should be thanking God that they're not God. What can we do right now as, first of all, as God followers? What do we need to do without compromising? We need to be responding wisely. Forget the narrative. Don't come at me with, this is what I need to do. When someone comes and tells me this is what I need to do and it's not a biblical thing, I'm going to push back immediately. I push back at authority anyway. It's not always a good thing. But I push back at authority. That's not me bragging. It's just how I am. I don't like authority. And I understand it when people don't like me in authority. But if there are no rules, then you can't live life without rules. But Christians, you disappoint me. And that's why I don't put my hope in any man. I guess that's why I live my life to study history. You see George Washington on my shirt and Thomas Jefferson here on the other side. I don't like everything Thomas Jefferson stood for. George Washington is one of my heroes. And I wonder a lot what the founding fathers think of us now. Are there problems in our country? There's problems in every country, but yeah, there's problems here. We're not going to solve them the way we're going. And maybe we're not supposed to. Maybe Jesus is coming back sooner than we think. Eternity terrifies me. However, that being said, the way we are going about things right now ain't going to work. Because if the church is not unified, then how do we expect the world to be unified? Churches stop having narratives. Bottom line, share the gospel. Spread the gospel, spread the love of Christ. Bottom line, I fail at that a lot. And this has been very convicting for me. Very convicting. This time. I think about my son, Chase, a lot. Chase has got a lot on him right now. His sister and brother are not here. He's alone. My mom just passed away, which was expected. It wasn't a surprise or a shock. It's something that we've been, as a family, expecting. But trying to explain that to Chase, with all of the loss that he has going on, the loss that my wife has going on, and I'm trying to do my best to keep my head above water with my family first. That includes God. But then looking at our world and how I should be responding and reacting. There's certain topics that I just won't speak on out loud. Because here's the problem. The society that we live in today, I'm going to piss somebody off. I don't know who, but there's always going to be somebody. I think I started to say a little bit ago, maybe I didn't say it in this video. I screwed up the last video. Like I said, I deleted it. I got to the point of anger on Saturday morning, and I got in touch through Messenger with a young man that I used to teach in Baltimore. I have much admiration for this young man. Always have. And we talked Saturday night. And I'm going to tell you, it was refreshing. It was a time of making me miss him so much that I'm looking forward to the opportunity to be able to connect with him in person. I'm not going to mention his name. He may not want me to do that, and I don't want to get him in trouble. But this young man, it was a conversation that I needed. It was a conversation that I think God led us to the point of pretty much almost every day this week we have been in touch. But to say that I'm worried is putting it lightly and putting it mildly. I'm worried. I'm worried for the church. Because if we don't work from the church from the inside out, we're going to continue to have the problems that we have. I know that things are probably not going to get perfect ever. I try to be as positive as I can in everything, except for when I'm coaching. I get down on guys that I know could be doing better than they are. But in life, I try to be as positive as I can. And looking forward, I can't wait for vacation right now. I honestly can't wait to go see my brother in Georgia. We may be able to see my sister and her family, my nieces and nephews, all of them. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. To go to a state that is open and be free. But I'm concerned. But understand this, church, understand this. As upset as I am with you, we are the answer. And if we don't get our act together, how do we expect anybody else to get their act together? We are the battles that are happening within the walls of the church. I say the walls of the church, that I mean the body, within the body of Christ. I'm struggling with church, and I'm saying that out loud. I don't agree with how our churches have handled things. I don't agree that we have people in our churches that hate someone so much that they don't want to do anything that he asks. And therein lies the problem. You hate somebody. I don't hate anybody. Well, I take that back. I struggle with stupidity. And my own stupidity drives me more crazy than anybody else's stupidity. Just let me tell you, when I screw up, everybody gets upset with me because I'm the person, I get more upset with myself than they ever could. It used to drive my dad nuts. But I'm going to let this start with me. I want to love with the love of Christ. Am I angry with a lot of things that are happening right now? Yes, I really am. I'm angry. But I haven't been this angry at the church since I left the church. But I'm more mature now. I'm not walking away from Christ. That will not happen. I'm not walking away from him ever again. I know that life, and I don't want that life ever again. I know what God has given me with the wife that I have and the son that I have, the life that I have. I'm very thankful for what I have. I'm very thankful for my job. I love doing what I do. I hate the heat. I really hate heat. I really do. I can't tell you how much I hate sweating just walking to my car. Anyway, I digress. But listen, I don't know how to fix this myself. And I think we need to start having conversations together on how to unify. Because nothing will scare the media or the left more is when we start to unify. Now listen, we may not necessarily always agree on politics. We may not necessarily agree on how things should be done. It is okay to agree to disagree. It's okay. I promise it is. But we've got to start, and we've got to start now. We've got to start pushing back against evil. And as Americans, we need to start pushing back against tyranny. Because tyranny is taking place. And until we start to see that, we are not going to get anywhere. First of all, we need to work from the church inside out. Then we need to work on our families, and we need to work on our country. I am not going to stop loving America because I know what America was and what it can be. All of us, everything that is happening right now, we are all Americans. And if we don't feel what a lot of different people are feeling, if we don't process, and if we don't have feelings, then I question you as an American. If you don't love America, and I know people get upset with me for loving this country so much. I'm not going to change that. God, family, country. But we as the body of Christ, black, white, yellow, brown, red, as the body of Christ, we've got to come together under him. Period. I'm going to stop. I love y'all. Talk to you soon.